we are going to be able to continue to keep booking, keep selling, and be able to continue with our golden rule service. And one of the things I want y'all to keep in mind that we're going to drill down on today is that there's four things that moves the American consumer, whether we're doing it virtually or whether we're doing it face to face. And that is, number one is a culture of giving. Number two is connection. Number three is convenience, and number four is curator. And I'm gonna drill down on each one of those. And let's start on the culture of giving. And isn't that what Mary Kay has always been about, y'all? We have always partied with a purpose. We've always had a cause to action, not just a call to action. And now is even more important that people understand that it's not only how amazing our products are, but how amazing our company is. Because whenever it comes down to them making a decision, I'm going to tell you that they're going to lean toward the heart, the why before the buy always. And so many years ago, I came up with a thing called Why Wash Your Face with Mary Kay. And I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to show you how fast you can do it. And I would love for you to be able to put something like this together in your words for all of your virtual appointments. We do it at all of our appointments so they understand what the culture of Mary Kay is like. And so whenever I get started, I always say, oh my gosh, y'all, how many of you all knew that we as women controlled 80% of purchases? And how many of y'all would agree that's a lot of power, right? But we give it away to bloggers and family members and all of that. And now I'm going to tell you, I don't know what other cosmetic companies do with their money, but I do know what happens if you were to choose to wash your face with Mary Kay. And did you know that when you do that, you are directly investing in the hopes and dreams of your consultant? In fact, if you're one of my clients, that's how I pay for my granddaughter to go to private Christian school. And that is, so every time you see the Lord do a great work in her life, you're like, oh my gosh, I had a part in that. And y'all want to come up with your statement so that they know exactly where that money's going, okay? And then I say, and also if you choose to wash your face with Mary Kay, you're directly investing in your local economy. And right now, that is huge with all the businesses shutting down and trying to figure out how to get back up and all of that. All that tax base has been moved. So you're directly investing in your local economy. Also think about that when you wash your face with Mary Kay, you are supporting a company designed by a woman, for women. So I don't know what products you might want to use, but what did you like? So I want you all to realize that every time you do that, like every time I do it, I'm like, I love being in Mary Kay, right? And so that's what's going to happen. And you start creating a buzz. And so that's the culture that we want to get that out to people. Also, number two is connection. Now is even a bigger deal than ever that we stay connected. And we can do that now through FaceTime. And my 15-year-old granddaughter just told me about Google Duo, which is a fun way to get together one-on-one. And of course, there's Zoom. And, of course, we've already mastered the FaceTime, right? Or the face-to-face. That's what we did before. And now we're going to be doing FaceTime and all the things that go with that. But there's still some logics, kind of some theory with this. And it's what I call the 4 B's of booking: bless, book, by the way, be clear. So when you're working on your list of people, and by the way, there will be a call to action later on. So just kind of picking out your top 10 people next to their name, I want you to think about how can I be a blessing to that woman, right? Or that person or that family. And I think in terms of either an experience or some exposure. And what I mean by that is on her name, maybe the experience could be, a mom and daughter getaway. It could be, just girlfriends kind of zooming in and creating that community. Maybe it's a watch party. Maybe it's a one-on-one. Maybe it's somebody that's going through a time. But I want to think about getting together with me. How is that going to be a blessing? And then, of course, by the way, once I get it booked, I'm going to say, by the way, who do you know of that maybe could join us? The more, the merrier. And then be clear on what we're going to be doing. And y'all, that's going to make such a difference as you're putting together your scripts. So we've got the culture of giving and we've got connection. And now let's talk about convenience. Have we ever been more right for the times than right now? Nope, we have not. Because we can drop off the products on their porch, or they can come by and get yours. Depends on how you feel the most safe. Here's the thing I want y'all to realize, that during all of this, people react to these types of situations differently. So make sure that you're putting your customer in the driver's seat. Like, how does she want that? Can you mail it to her? In fact, when I was a new consultant, I had driven about an hour to go to an appointment, and I forgot my miracle set. And so, but I had everything else. So I put it out and I said, okay, y'all, we're going to play along. And I said, okay, this is your cleanser. And seriously, I didn't have it in my hand. And so I made everybody do it and we laughed. And this is no lie. All five bought skincare because they were so excited about it. So you don't always have to have the samples, but you're going to create the convenience of that experience. And of course, they can earn it. They can do their own parties. They can do outside orders, which is going to grow your customer base from there. And if they say no to you when you ask them, you just wipe their little name off the board, say, bless their little hearts. They're doing the best they can. Pull out a can of glitter and squirt yourself with glitter. And you know why? Because you can't be mad or sad if you're covered in glitter. So you definitely need to get something like this as you're working with people. So we've got the culture of giving. We've got connection that makes us right for the times. We've got convenience. Let's talk about being a curator. Oh, my lands. I don't know about y'all, but there's so many choices of things that we could be using. And this is where we get to be a blessing to people. We get to save them time. We get to save them money. And we get to connect the right product for their needs for right now and be able to help them within their budget. Crystal Gardner, future $1 million director from our area, talks about that at every appointment. It's so important that you ask, what is it that you'd like to learn? And is there anything that you would change about your skin so you can design this appointment for her? Again, it's that customization that makes us so different. And then also on the one-on-ones, this is so important. One-on-ones, even whenever I'm doing like live Facebooks or whatever, I still want to do an individual consultation. And I just want you to think of in form of step, right? How do you like that shoe, right? I wore it on stage one time and now it's an official prop. My feet hurt just looking at it, but I want you to think about stepping, right? Stepping from a life of excuses into a life of excellence. Thinking from thinking, I'm overwhelmed to, oh my gosh, I'm abundantly blessed. And to be able to say, I'm so afraid, to be able to say, I'm so excited to learn, right? So y'all have got to take control, erase and replace every statement as you're getting ready to close that does not serve you. So S is you're going to close the set special. T is you want to get the time booked for their second appointment. The E is to entice them with some free products so that they can share with friends. And the P is, do they want to partner together and maybe start their own Mary Kay business? S, set special, right? Talk to your director about getting your words right. T, time booked for that second experience, whether it's virtual or not. E is to entice. P is to partner together. And again, if they say no, wipe their name off, love them where they're at. They're doing the best they can. Squirt yourself with a little glitter. And so that's how you're going to be able to get more sales. And then you also want to make sure that you're doing golden rule service. Brenda Tholen, one of the top directors in our area, has always taught us to call for 3 reasons. And y'all, getting on the phone right now is so important. I just called one of my clients and she burst into tears and she said, I'm so lonely and I'm so afraid, and you're the first person that's called me. So the first reason we're going to call is make sure that people are okay, that they know that people know who they are, that they're not lost in this. And so, you know, how are they doing? Is there anything they need to stay beautiful? And would they be interested in creating a virtual experience for them and their friends and family? So those things, have those already written out. Send maybe once a week, send out a funny meme or a funny gift to everybody, not just on Facebook, but individually with them. Make sure you're doing handwritten notes as people come to mind. Write out some notes. Also, as you're working with your preferred customer program, you can do some follow-up with that. Birthday cards, definitely work with that. And then also with your private page, I want to thank Executive Senior Sales Director Jamie Taylor for this idea. Is instead of your private page just being just Mary Kay, start adding a little more value. Maybe just some ideas to create peace. Maybe it's some ideas, have some guest speakers on there, and just some different things on that. Me and my daughter and granddaughter are doing Generations of Sparkle, and we're going to be talking about how a 15-year-old and a 35-year-old and a 56-year-old handle different situations, and we're going to create this community for people. So adding that community part. And so, you know, those are the things that you can do. And here's the thing I want to talk to you about, because we're talking about the story, right? I want you to realize that right now in your mind, you're either creating a winner story or a whiner story, right? And so any of those that are creating whiner stories, stay away from them. And don't take advice from people that you would not trade places with. And I want you to think about the story that Mary Kay Ash told herself. You go back 57 years ago. It was 1963. Y'all know the story. She wanted to start a company for for the perfect company for women. She took her $5,000 in savings to start this company. Everybody told her it couldn't happen. Everybody said this isn't the right time. Do you know why they said that? We had just survived the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Vietnam War was just getting started. Civil rights was everywhere, just all kinds of things. A month before she started, her husband passed away, and yet that she knew that she was in the right place at the right time and that she was going to push forward. She started the company September 13th, and then in November that same year, the president, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated. Can you imagine what America was like during that time? And yet she just kept going. And you fast forward 57 years later, and here we are, still family owned, still making a difference, still financially so secure, because she didn't give in. And the reason I tell people that I'm not concerned is this is not my first go round. I got started in 1987 when I was active duty in the Air Force, and I didn't realize it was the biggest drop the stock market had made at that point, because I didn't even know what the stock market was, and went on to earn the use of my first career car and became a sales director, because that was the story I told myself. In 1990, the World Wide Web came out, and I said, this is the story that I want to be a part. I want to be a part of this new pivot. 2000 was the Y2K. The whole country shut down. We kept going. 2001, 9/11, and Mary Kay passed away that very same year, and that's whenever we earned our first top director trip and became a national. Started building that, and then 2008, when we moved into our Gold Circle and Beyond years, guess what? That's whenever we had the biggest drop prior to that. What story are you going to tell yourself, right? Let's write out the winner story. You get to decide, and we're going to do a call to action. We're going to post right now. We're going to post a script for you, or check with your director. I want you to reach out to 10 people. Think today in the power of 10. 10 connections every day. Go through every person in Facebook, every person in your phone, every person in your email. Go back through everybody. You've got plenty of time right now, but today, just 10 of them. I want you to reach out, and then I want you to start keeping up with all of the things that you're doing, all the results that you have. There are people right now that need you to reach out to them. Cannot wait to hear your story. Bye-bye.